Good morning, everyone, and welcome inside the historic St. FX campus for the final time. It's the under-15 male Hockey Nova Scotia high-performance summer camp live on highbuttonsports.ca. Game 4 of 4. One last opportunity for these 46 athletes, all born in Nova Scotia, to try and crack the Atlantic Challenge Cup roster for Team NS for the Thanksgiving Classic over in Moncton. There's been a lot of great moments captured throughout these 3 games. We'll play one final matchup here. One last look at the evaluators and scouts for all the players on Team Orange and Team Green. It'd be hard not to mention number 92 in green, Noel Ramard, and he's been a point per period player at least in this mini-series. The Novus product has been displaying his skill for the entire 3 games. Expect for him to light it up once again here in this morning's matchup. Warm-up is now over. Looks like Orange will go with Jonah Harvey to start the first period of play. Number 31 for Team Orange, played for the Valley Wildcats last season, while Blake Butcher gets the start for Team Green from Truro. Liam Dufour from the Rangers will take the opening face-off at center ice, right on the X here in Antigonish. He'll oppose Enzo Chandler from Bedford. And for the final time, we are underway now. Game 4 of 4 for this U15 male boys summer camp tryouts. Looking to crack Team Nova Scotia. That'll be worked in the zone by Charlie McKinnon, but quickly picked off by Paxton Kennedy, his Gulls teammate. Work to the ringette line. Here's Dixon. Dixon shot low. It's going to find its way to the back of the net, and an early goal for Team Orange. Dixon throws one along the ice and gets by Butcher. 23 seconds in, it's the Orange team who have the icebreaker. Another early goal in these games. First game between these two teams was 8-7. 15 goals between the two, a bit of a lighter scoring since, but there seems to always be an early goal in all these games. And no different here in the final matchup of this mini-series. Here is Dixon, the goal scorer. Played for the North Sydney Challenge and Cougars last season. Picked off Chandler, looking to center it in front for Cameron Ripley, but he couldn't find him. Chandler gets it back in the corner, fights off the defender. Takes a bit of contact at the top of the circle. It's going to squirt free for Orange. Here's McLaughlin. He'll chip that off the wall. That's going to be whistled down. Offside was the call there. Another standout player in this mini-series has been Jax Mosier, number 18 in orange on your screen from Dartmouth. He's been showcasing his speed and physicality for the past 3 days. Expect him to have another standout game in that regard. Puck dropped. Green got possession off the face-off. Here is Eric Boudreau from Bedford. He gets pinned to the boards. Chevry looking to dig it loose, and he will. Landon Chevry battling for possession down low. That's going to squirt free. Here comes Mosier with it now. Has Chambers. Might be a 2-on-1. Mosier will dance by the defender. Holds on to the puck down low, but who loses the handle? Another display of speed from number 18 in orange. That's going to come loose past the blue line. Pelham there to regroup for Orange. He'll whack it off the opposite wall. Picked up by Andrew Michaud. Michaud from Truro finds Frizzle. Jacob Frizzle makes a few moves at the neutral ice. Trying to get by the defender, but he can't get by Diebel. Chevry will find the loose puck, but takes a spill. Picked up by Pelham. Pelham trying to set up Zwicker for the breakout, but that will be out of his reach and bounce all the way down the ice. Butcher will leave it for Davis Henneberry. He'll collide along the wall with Quinn Smith. Centering pass. There is Boudreau. Shot will be steered to the corner by Nick Sublier from Dartmouth. Here's McKim down low. McKim will try and spin and fire a pass, but unable to do so. Labuki picks it up. He'll go up to the line, but Lincoln McDonald cannot hold it in the zone. Forced to retreat. He'll chip it off the wall. Gets the bounce to go right back to his stick, but that'll be poked free by an Orange defender. Here's Wicker winding back behind his own net. He'll go across ice for Pelham. Pelham looking to return the cross ice pass, but that's going to go off a skate. Worked into the zone. Marty McLeod will lay out his man, McKim, along the wall. Pelham finds the puck, looking to escape the zone. Sent back in behind the net. McLeod gets it again. Played up the wall, kept it at the line by Paxton Kennedy. He'll let a shot go. Harvey makes a save with the stick. We're 3 minutes in now to the first period, and we'll have our first penalty of the game. Exactly 17 minutes to go in the first. Looks like it'll be McKim in the box for a hold. Opportunity here for Orange to double up their lead. Romard will head out there for the face-off. His first look in this game will be on the penalty kill. He'll oppose Austin Reed on the face-off dot. Puck hits the ice. One back. Chance for Green to clear. That'll be kept in at the line. Here's Marty McLeod at the top of the zone. Dishes it off for Rude on the half wall. Rude to the corner for Reed. Gets the return pass. Here's Ben Rude. Swings it across for Cale Parsons. Parsons down low. Finds Reed, but that'll bounce through his stick. Rude there to help him out, but that'll be turned over. Played to the line, kept in. Here's Parsons. Parsons trying to feather a pass through the seam, but that'll hit the stick of Romard and exit the zone. Here comes Noel Romard, shorthanded, makes a move, still has it. Romard, backhander, just sails past the glove side. That would have been something from number 92, but still 1-0. Here's a chance to the other side now. Here comes O'Hearn, puts the brakes on, looking for the trailer, but hits the body on the way through. Does not make its way to the target. Orange have it. Play to the line for Hayes. Hayes over to Brabant. Brabant back for Hayes, just out of his reach. Able to maintain possession. Gets the return feed back up top from Reed. Here's Hayes. Back towards Reed. Hits a stick as that'll be fought off by Michaud, who uses his body to separate puck from man, and he'll clear it down the ice. 45 seconds to go on the power play for Orange. Brabant will take the puck from Jonah Harvey. Brabant finds Liam Dufour along the far side wall. He'll enter the zone. Picked up at the top. Here's McKinnon down low for Dufour. Dufour will spin on the corner, up the wall. Brabant, one touch for Hayes. Hayes corrals it, goes to the bumper. McKinnon shot blocked right in the slot. Dufour finds the rebound in the corner. Dufour up for Brabant. Brabant hesitates. Back for Dufour. He has some space. He'll walk it and shoot one low, looking for the redirection in front off of Mosier's stick, but couldn't find it. Here's Hayes now. 8 seconds to go on the power play. Up for Brabant. Shot low. Another redirection intended shot, but that will sail wide. That's going to do it for the power play. Back to 5-on-5. Here's Brabant up top. Makes the play to Dufour. Dufour shot. Save made by Butcher with the stick. Rebound cleared away as Chandler will head out there to clear the puck. Sent back into the green zone. Michaud there to collect it. Great pace in this first period so far, as Duggan will make the play up for Frizzle, 1-on-2. Frizzle will hesitate and try and shoot one through the skates of Hayes, but he gets a piece of it for the block. Chevry looking to dig it free, picked up by Hayes. Up for McKinnon, that'll be out of his reach, and that will go all the way down for no icing. It was waved off. Labuki with a nice cycle pass for Davis Henneberry. Henneberry back across looking for Labuki, but out of his reach. That'll be played off the linesman's skate, stays in. Here's Frizzle pass for Chevry, scores! Landon Chevry finds the back of the net to tie the game. Great feed to set him up in the slot by Frizzle. Number 88 from Cole Harbour has the equalizer. Bit of a favorable bounce. The clearing attempt was kept in off the linesman's skate, but sometimes you just need those bounces to go your way, and that's what happened there. So a tie game, brand new game here with 14 minutes to go in the first period. 1-1 is your score. Landon Chevry just scored the equalizer. There's a hit in the corner. Puck squirts free. Frizzle has it. Frizzle over to Boudreau. Boudreau finds Chevry streaking in the middle of the ice. Enters his zone, drops it for Labuki. Back for Chevry. Chevry pass in front. That's going to be stopped off the one-timer. Great passing play from Labuki, Chevry, and number 82, Eric Boudreau. But Jonah Harvey with the glove freezes play. Chevry will stay out there for the face-off against Jesse Gallant. Puck drop, went cleanly back to the line, but intercepted by Chambers. Kept in by Frizzle, but he just gets nudged off the puck to escape the zone. Chambers takes the pass, looking to go wide on Labuki, as Labuki outmuscles his man and grabs the puck from Chambers. Labuki looking for Frizzle, takes the puck himself, avoids the hit, loses the puck. Gallant will play it back, picked up. Here is Quinn Smith. Smith ditches a pass across, picked up by Diebel. Diebel will make a move in the slot and shoot one off the glove of Butcher, who just gets enough of that one with the mitten to prevent another goal. Frizzle will play the hop off the boards, avoids the hit, still has the puck in the corner. Centering pass will go off the defender's stick in front. That was Pelham. Frizzle down low for McKim. McKim looking for a lane on the goal line. Pass across will hit the shin pad once again to Pelham on the defensive side. Here comes Zwicker. Zwicker up for Pelham. Pelham across. Nice feed looking for Benjamin Rue, but that will be knocked off of his twig. There's Marty McLeod off the bench. He'll spin it into the zone. Takes it wide on the far side. Down low. McLeod looking for the awkward angle shot. Nearly fooled Butcher. Rebound sent just wide by Pelham. Zabi collected in the corner. Sent down the ice. Bounces off a stick. Last player back is Cale Parsons. Parsons over to McLeod. McLeod had that go on his feet. Forced to hesitate. Plays it off his goaltender's stick. Parsons will collect it. Back over for McLeod. McLeod through the middle of the ice will try and sauce a pass, but that will be out of the reach. Zwicker might beat this one out, and he does not do so that will be an icing. Face-off back in the team orange zone. 1-1 is the score. McKim in for the draw against Pelham. McKim played for the Rangers last season, Pelham for the Gulls in the Nova Scotia U15 Major Hockey League. Pass for Rude off the face-off win for Orange. That's going to be picked off right at the X at center, but Pelham gets it right back with a stick lift. He'll feather that into the zone as he takes his man down. He was trying to knock him down. Picked up by Parsons. Played off the wall, intercepted by Lincoln McDonald. Parsons gets it back, D to D over to McLeod. Up for Rude. Rude finds Zwicker. Zwicker puts the brakes on, holds on to it up top. Another nice move, but eventually loses the handle. Kennedy will take over. Up for Chip. Finds McKim. McKim will work that puck to the corner. Centering pass will go off a stick and up and high and into the netting for another whistle. Approaching the halfway mark of the first period. 1-1 is your score. Landon Chevry has the only goal for Team Green. While on the other side, it was Marty McLeod who scored just a few seconds into the game off a bit of a knuckler puck along the ice. Noel Ramard will take this face-off in the offensive zone. Let's see what he can do here in his office. Puck is dropped. One for Duggan as Gauthier fanned on it. That's going to squirt free. Reed looking to get to the puck, but Gauthier gets back in time. Makes the play to Michaud. Up and chipped into the zone, and that will be icing as Ripley cannot get a piece of that one off the stretch pass. Reed against Ramard once again. Play to the wall, won by Orange. Here's Hayes, one-timer, sails wide. Captain by Brabant, he'll rim it around the wall. Comes free for Michaud. Michaud to the boards. Finds Ripley. That'll be turned over at center by Dufour. Pass finds Reed. He'll go one-on-one with Michaud. Reed to the backhand, but poked away by number 71, Michaud, with a good defensive stick. Centering pass for Dufour will be knocked away. Gauthier up for Ramard. Here comes Noel Ramard. Enters the zone through the middle. Ditches it off. There's a return feed. Ramard couldn't jam that one home. Remard up the wall for Gauthier. Gauthier shot low, be blocked off a skate, chance to the side. Here comes Gregor O'Hearn with the puck. He's got Dufour with them and Reed. Drops it for Dufour. Dufour trying to get by the back check of Ripley. Forced to the boards, taken into the wall. Michaud looking to clear, play to the boards as Remard couldn't accept the pass. He's got his stick out of his hands. Dufour takes the pass from Brabant, goes wide, gets taken down. Arm stays down as well. Here's Michaud. Orange will peel off for a change. Andrew Michaud will take his ice and get the red line and send it in deep, so Green will do the same thing. Just past the halfway mark of the first, here's Brabant. Holds on to the puck, looking for an option. Goes off the skate of McKinnon. Comes free as Boudreau will play it back for the Labuki. Labuki finds Davis Henneberry. Chandler lets that puck go for Frizzle. Here comes Jacob Frizzle. He'll walk in and shoot one up the crossbar. Got a piece of the iron, but stays out off the transition shot. Henneberry gets hit into the wall by Mosier. Puck available on the blue line. They're trying to dig it off the body along the ice. Frizzle finds it. Frizzle over to Labuki. Toe drags past the defender, makes a play to Henneberry. That will bounce off his backhand as Henneberry and Mosier collide. Here's Frizzle up for Boudreau. That will bounce to the wall. Boudreau poked free by Brabant. Battle ensues in the corner. 9 minutes to go in the first. They're still trying to dig it free along the wall. 2-on-2, 2 greens, 2 oranges pinned to the boards, and eventually that will be whistled down. Chandler for Green will take the face-off against Jesse Gallant for Orange. Puck hits the ice, scrum draw. That will go in possession of Orange. There's Henneberry, poked free, McKinnon. There's a big hit on Gallant. Mosier finds the puck in the corner. So it'll get taken to the wall. McKinnon finds it. McKinnon chips it to himself along the boards, takes it wide. McKinnon on the bottom of the circle. Looks back up top. That will hit a stick, trying to get back to the point, and deflects all the way down the ice. Harvey out to play it all the way in the corner. He fixed the forehand and goes backhand to Dylan Dixon. Dixon's pass hits a stick, comes free. McLaughlin will try and work it ahead as Zwicker finds it. Here's Boudreau, chipped into the zone. Boudreau against Dixon. Dixon takes the hit, and Frizzle finds the loose puck, and one just wide. That would have made it 2-1 as Mosier collides with Chevry. Pretty physical second half of this period. McLeod takes the puck from his goaltender. Picked up by Kennedy in his own zone. Paxton Kennedy through the middle of the ice, finds Chevry. Chevry over to Kennedy. Back to Chevry. Landon Chevry will try and make a play. That's going to bounce off his skate. Ends up free for Dixon. Dylan Dixon gets by the forecheck. A nice escape move. Here's a breakaway pass for Quinn Smith, but he couldn't stay on side, so he could not work that one properly into the zone. Comes free out of the corner. There's a collision between Chambers and Chip. Down low. Smith trying to work that loose as he gets pinned to the boards. Picked up by Kennedy. Kennedy up the wall looking for Chevry. Landon Chevry will poke that out of the zone, sent back in deep by Soublier. Here's John Purcell. Another one of those Novas who won the provincial banner last season. He'll make the play up the wall. Chevry looking to clear, gets hit along the boards, and that's going to be a penalty as Zwicker took some contact. Boarding is going to be the signal from the referee, who is right there in front of it to make the call. Looks like it'll be Chip, the penalized player, number 80 for Team Green. 6.5 to go in the first. Another power play for Team Orange. Pelham against McKim for the face-off to the glove side of Butcher. Puck dropped. Orange has possession, play to the line, and Rude collects it. Rude chips it to himself, play to the corner. Here's O'Hearn. O'Hearn slows things down, looking for an option. Up top for Rude. Rude finds Diebel. Diebel to the wall. Over to Soublier. He'll cycle it in deep for Pelham. Pelham. As Gauthier picks his pocket down low. But Soublier gets possession back for Orange. Nice move out of the corner. Poked free to the line. Here's Diebel. Finds Pelham. Pelham across. Here's an opportunity for O'Hearn. And he cashes in. Gregor O'Hearn off a beautiful feed from Simon Pelham. Power play goal for Orange. And they have regained the lead here in the first period. Beautiful setup from Pelham. O'Hearn lifts it upstairs past the blocker side of Butcher. And we now have our third goal of this game. McKim versus Dufour at the center of the ice. Face off one ahead. Here comes Nordin. Nordin from the goals. Can't get by the defensive stick of Cale Parsons. McKim finds it. He'll take a hit along the boards from McKinnon. Parsons gets it back in his own end. He'll rim it up the wall looking for Reed. Reed collects it, chips it off the wall. It's going to hit a glove on the Orange bench, and that will stop play. McKim against Dufour once more for the draw. This time to the blocker side of Harvey inside the zone. One to the line. Here's Labuki. His pass will escape just out of the reach. And here's a 2-on-1 opportunity. McKinnon has Reed with him, but good job by Labuki to get back to prevent an odd man rush. That'll be kept into the zone, but McKim able to get the escape. He finds Nordin, who gets taken off the puck with a body contact. Parsons rims it up the boards. As there's a collision in the corner, Labuki finishes his hit. Play to the line. Dufour pokes it free. Here comes Liam Dufour with McKinnon. Dufour will drag and try and shoot one, but good stick in desperation from Labuki as he was falling down, but still got a twig on the puck to prevent a shot on goal. Here's Hannaberry. Hannaberry will send that one for Ripley out of his reach, picked up by Marty McLeod in his own zone. McLeod up for Mosier. Mosier, as that puck bounced off the linesman's skate. Remard will take over. Here comes Noel Remard, gets nudged off the puck by Mosier on the back check. Zwicker looking for the puck. Another big collision along the boards. Remard gets the pass. Centering will be defended off of his stick by Brabant. Here's Purcell. Purcell finds Kennedy. Kennedy will send that into the zone. Brabant there to collect it. Takes a hit from Duggan along the boards. Brabant loses the puck. Remard takes over. Pass to the line. Here's Purcell. He'll work that in deep. Finds Duggan. Duggan gets taken off the puck by Hayes with a hit. Centering pass. Chambers will flick that out of the zone. Purcell there to send it back towards the opposite side. Frizzle makes the play up for Duggan. Duggan trying to poke it for Remard, but he couldn't find him. Chambers will take over. Chambers towards the slot. Shot low will be stopped by Butcher. Gallant trying to work that to the top. He gets pinned to the boards. 3 minutes to go in this first period. There's Remard. Remard gets taken out the puck at center by Hayes, and he'll be forced back into the zone. Here's Kennedy. Stretch pass finds Remard. No, Remard takes it wide. Pass for Duggan will be picked off. Pelham, as Zwicker makes the play for O'Hearn. O'Hearn, centering pass will bounce off the stick of Quinn Smith. Ends up in the corner. Smith try to work it to the line, fanned on it. Squirts free for Duggan. Duggan for Remard. He'll work that towards the blue line, and he'll finish his hit on McLaughlin. Here's O'Hearn. O'Hearn behind the net, looking for His defenseman, that's going to be kept in at the line by Dixon barely, and shot will make its way on goal for Butcher to cover up with the glove. Face off. That's going to be won ahead by Green, but quickly turned over. Comes available at the blue line, and we sent back in the zone. Here's Michaud. Over to Gauthier. Gauthier up for Boudreau. Loses the handle. Comes free for Chandler. Here comes Enzo Chandler, who worked it towards the net, but fought off by the defense of Dixon. Chandler still has it. Cycled down low, looking for McDonald. Can't connect with him. Dixon can't clear. Kept in by Lincoln McDonald. Battle ensues along the boards. O'Hearn will play it ahead. Kept in for a moment, but eventually squirts free. Smith will make the play into the zone as he takes a hit. Labuki finds it. Up for Lincoln McDonald. McDonald finds Boudreau. Boudreau will shoot one low. That's going to be stopped by Harvey and rebound to the corner. Up top, here's Henneberry. He'll rim that in deep for Chandler. There's a nice pass from Chandler in front for Boudreau, and that will be kept out, and that comes off, and that will stop play. Nice play from Lincoln McDonald to set up Chandler. Chandler went no look to the back door. Boudreau nearly finished that one off to tie the game, but cannot find the back of the net. Chevry in for the face-off against Pelham, as linesman at neutral ice will call for a redo. Now they kick out Pelham from the draw. In comes Austin Reed. Oh no, looks like Sublier will take the face-off, the defenseman. One cleanly back by Chevry to the line. Here's Henneberry. Shot deflected to the corner. Collision along the wall. Chevry gets taken down by Pelham. 2-on-2 ensues. Here's Chevry again. And then Chevry looking for an option. His centering pass will go off his skate as we're now inside the final minute of play in the first period. Rude finishes his hit on Henneberry. That'll come free in the corner for Labuki. Chipped off the wall. Here's Ripley. Loses possession. Orange gets it back, but Chip intercepts in the slot. So Green has possession now. Chip leaves it for Labuki. He finds Henneberry on the weak side. Henneberry will walk it and shoot one off the blocker. Harvey rebound that will go through the skate of Chip as he went driving, looking for the secondary opportunity. Pelham makes the play to Reed. Reed finds Diebel. Diebel bursts wide, holds on to it, trying to fool Butcher with an awkward angle shot, but Butcher makes a save. Rebound wrapped on goal by Reed, but kept out again. Here's Ripley. Bounces it off the wall, kept in by Pelham. He'll finish his hit, and that's going to do it for the first period. 2-1 is the score for Orange. They will take the lead into the dressing room. You're watching the High Button Sports production of the 2026 Hockey Nova Scotia High Performance Summer Camp. U15 boys wrapping things up here on a Sunday morning. Be back for the second period after the break. back to the Charles B. Keating Center. You're watching the High Button Sports coverage of the 2026 Hockey Nova Scotia High Performance Summer Camp. This is the final group, the final game of a great 2 weeks of hockey here at Antigonish. 2-1 is the score right now in this game. We'll have two new goalies. Mason Gunn on the right side, number 26 for Team Green. We'll start in net for the second, while over across the ice from him, 200 feet away for Team Orange, is Jerome Doucette, number 30. It's been a very physical game to end things off as these players get one last look at the evaluators before they got to make their final decisions for the Atlantic Challenge Cup roster for Team Nova Scotia. We're underway now for the second period. Orange get first possession. That's going to be worked into the zone by Reedus. He'll absorb a hit from Kennedy, but gets the better of that exchange. Dufour down low for McKinnon. Centering pass, pokes on goal, but that'll hit a shin pad from free for McKim. Finds Nordin. Magnus Nordin enters the zone. Has a lane. He'll try and shoot one, gets his stick lifted, and that'll be played in the corner for Lincoln McDonald. Return feed, one-timer from Nordin. That's going to be stopped by Jerome Doucette, his first shot of the game. Dufour and his line mates will stay out there for the draw. Enzo Chandler will oppose him at the dot. Play to the line. Michaud works it in deep. Chandler finds it. Here is Enzo Chandler. Back to the blue line for Michaud, but he bobbled it, and that will escape all the way back to Mason Gunstick. Michaud takes it from his goaltender. Gets by the first forechecker, still has the puck. On the near side, he enters the zone. Past the trailer, shot will go wide up the stick of Cameron Ripley. Rebound sent on goal, save made by Doucette. Played up top, there's Chandler. Across for Michaud. Michaud works it down the wall. Has it behind the net. Looking for an option, fans on the pass. Sends it on goal, that will go wide past Doucette. There's Duggan. Duggan to the slot. Ripley lets one go low. That's going to be redirected to the corner by Doucette. Puck comes free. Reed will work it to the center ice line. Gets pinned to the wall. Dufour looking to work it loose as Chandler loses it. Here's Dufour dragging, but he can't get by Michaud, the defender in front of the cage. That's going to be kept in at the line by Avery Brabant. Steered to the corner by Gunn. Picked up by Chandler. Enzo Chandler will reverse it back for Gauthier. Stretch pass will bounce off the backhand of Brabant. No icing. Brabant, as Duggan nearly picks his pocket, but Brabant able to keep possession for Orange. Play up the wall for Chambers. Nice stick lift from number 20 in Orange to keep the puck going north as Mosier will take over. Mosier, with a burst of speed, will play it along the wall. And it's a one-timer from Hayes. Sails wide. Mosier picks it up at center. Jax Mosier from Dartmouth will wind back in his own zone. Pass up for Chambers will miss him. Chambers plays the bounce into the corner. Loses the puck. Labuki strips him of the biscuit. Becomes available along the wall. Mosier gets his puck, get picked by Chevry. Here comes Landon Chevry, has a goal in this game. Scored last night as well. He'll take it wide. Worked into the corner. Up top, here's Labuki. Labuki's shot low will be redirected up and out of play by Doucette. And that will stop play. Up next for highbuttonsports.ca, we'll be covering some preseason in the Atlantic region of Canada. The U18 Major Hockey League will be getting going soon. We'll be covering a few preseason games, and next thing you know, it'll be the regular season once again, as there's a shot from distance from Purcell that will sail over the net and hit the glass. There's Purcell down low for Chevry. Chevry with a nice move on the wall. Play to the line, but that will bounce out of the zone. Kennedy Makes the play ahead for Frizzle. Frizzle back for Purcell. Here's John Purcell. He finds Kennedy. Kennedy up for Ramard. Noel Ramard advances the puck but gets his stick lifted at center, as that will be backhanded into the green bench, which will stop play. Face-off will be inside the Team Orange zone. Pelham in for the draw against Nordine. Play to the wall. There's Zwicker. Zwicker gets pinned to the boards by Chip, makes the play to Pelham. Pelham up top. There's a one-timer from Dixon that will be kept out off the padded gun. Here's Smith. Up for Dixon, over to Pelham at the top of the circle. Pass across, looking for the back door for Smith, but he had that place just out of his reach. Was the right idea for a beautiful play, but just couldn't connect there. Here's Zwicker again. Makes the pass from Smith. He finds Pelham. Pelham, backhand sauce, will miss everybody and go to center. Dixon backpedals to his own blue line. Bank play will be poked into the zone by Pelham using his long reach. As there's a big collision between Gauthier and Zwicker behind the net. Puck kept in. Here's a bouncing puck that's going to be played off the pad and squirted to the wall. Nordine up for Andy Chip. Chip finds Boudreau. Boudreau will work it to the slot. Toe drag will be played on goal and just goes wide. 2-on-2 behind the net. Green get possession. Here's a wraparound opportunity as that was jammed on goal by Boudreau. Squirts free. Zwicker finds a nice spin move. Loses the handle. Puck still on his stick somehow. Zwicker forced out of the zone. Goes back in, but he drops it off right under the stick of Andy Chip unintentionally, and that will be a turnover. Chip. Nice move to get by two defenders at center, but that's going to be played offside into the zone, which will stop play. About 5 minutes have gone in the second. No scoring in this period. All three goals came in the first so far. Chandler against McKinnon for the draw. One ahead by Green. Worked it into the zone. Enzo Chandler gets possession. Circles back. Cycles it in deep for Lincoln McDonald. McDonald chips it off the wall for Henneberry. Henneberry at the blue line. Back for McDonald in the corner. McDonald centering pass will go off a skate of the defender, Diebel. Chandler gets it back. Makes a few moves along the boards. Play to the line for Labuki. Labuki across. Finds Henneberry. Henneberry shot low. Tip wide by McKim. McDonald back for McKim. Good possession here for Green, as that will be cycled and turned over. Picked up. There's Soublier with a chance to clear. Clear it up the wall. Picked off. Labuki takes a pass. Labuki to the boards for Enzo Chandler. His pass will be intercepted. Here comes O'Hearn. 2-on-1 with Rude. O'Hearn will shoot one on and he scores. 2 goals for Gregor O'Hearn. He puts it past the blocker a gun. Orange have a 2-goal lead. Back-to-back goals for Gregor O'Hearn. He scored the latest one and the most recent one before that. The Bedford Bandit having himself a great final game with 2 bingos. We'll reconvene back at the center of the ice. Ramard versus Dufour right at the X, as that will be won back by Green. There is Kennedy up for Ramard, but that will be out of his reach and all the way down for an icing. Dufour against Ramard once again for the draw. They'll kick out Dufour. In comes Ripley as a face-off win. We'll head right back to Martin McLeod, who lets a shot go wide. There's Purcell. We'll advance the puck to the blue line. Dishes it for Remard, his Nova teammate, as Remard will fight off Dufour. Both players collide into the wall. Pokes free. Here's Duggan. Duggan takes a hit. Orange get it back. McLeod plays it to the line, gets it back. Marty McLeod up for Dufour. Here comes Liam Dufour. Hesitates, drops it for McLeod. McLeod, nice move. Holds on to it. Pass in front. It's going to come free. Gunn can't quite squeeze it, but eventually gets the glove on it, as that one was bouncing in his crease, but eventually the Bombers' netminder able to stop play. Dufour will stay out there for the draw with Reed and Chambers. Hayes and Brabant at the blue line. Nordin will oppose him at the dot. One ahead by Dufour. That'll be wrapped on goal and covered up once more by Mason Gunn. This time they'll drop the puck to the glove side of the southpaw Gunn. Scrum draw here. Chambers stop made out the blocker. A Gun right off the face-off. Point blank. Nordin will take over. His pass will be out of the reach of Chevry. Chipped off the wall by Brabant. Here's Dufour now. Liam Dufour on the half wall looking for an option. Holds on to it. Leaves it for Reed to the slot. Chambers. One-timer comes free in front for Dufour as Chambers fanned on it, but it went right to Dufour on the back door, who also fanned on that puck. So a double fan on that play. Here's Brabant. Holds the zone. Finds Reed. Here's Dufour in the slot. Gets taken down by Gauthier. As there's a big collision between Michaud and Chambers in the corner. Chambers and Michaud tangled up again, looking for that loose puck. Nordin in there as well with Reed. Ends up free at the line for Hayes. Hayes' shot will be deflected on goal, as there's going to be a penalty on the play. Holding is the call from the referee at center ice. Looks like it'll be number 71, Andrew Michaud, heading to the box. Another opportunity for Orange on the power play. 1 for 2 so far in this game. Gallant will take the face-off against Andy Chip. Orange get possession. Here's a centering pass. Gallant one-timer will be stopped by Gunn with the pad. Rebound collected by Chip, and he'll send it the length of the ice. Here is Doucette. He hasn't seen much action as of late. He'll make the play. McLaughlin will take over. Charlie McLaughlin will bank that off the boards. Picked up by Labuki. Labuki will find the puck and immediately send it down the ice. Here's Dixon. Dylan Dixon leads the rush on the power play. He'll muscle that over to Mosier as he was tangled up with Chip on the back check. Mosier over for McLaughlin. Gallant finds it. Worked ahead. That's going to come loose in the corner. Play to the line for Dixon. Dixon will walk it and shoot one off a stick, and that will hit the netting and go out of play. Eric Boudreau got a piece of that one on the way out. McKinnon will take the face-off for Orange against George McKim. They'll kick out McKim off the pump fake. In comes Enzo Chandler. Orange get possession off the reset. DD pass. Here's a low shot from Zwicker that will sail wide. It's Diebel. Plays it over to Zwicker on the orange-blue line. Zwicker with a nice escape move in front of his own net. Still has the puck, eventually poked free by McKim. Zwicker maintains possession. Dishes it off for Sublier. Here's Nick Sublier on the power play. Finds McKinnon. McKinnon over to Diebel. Diebel will work that in deep. Picked up by Purcell, looking to clear. Kept in. Here's Sublier. Sublier can't hold the line as he's forced out of the zone by Chandler. Zwicker has it. Dishes it for Pelham. Pelham back towards Zwicker. Intercepted by Purcell, and we're back to 5-on-5. Pelham down low. As Green will get possession, Henneberry plays to the line. Kept in by Sublier as Chandler finishes his hit, but Sublier gets the best on that body contact exchange right at the blue line. Zwicker has it. Centering pass will go out to stick a gun. Chandler finds it, and he will send it down the length of the ice, and that will be an icing. Reed against Remard for the draw. To the blocker side of gun. Puck dropped. There's a shot from distance. That'll be gloved down by Mason Gunn. Letting that one go from the blue line was Cale Parsons, number 7. Reed against Remard again. Scrum draw in the feet, picked up. Remard has it. We'll make a move to create some separation. Here comes Noel Remard, the head of steam, goes wide, drops it off. There's a shot off the blocker of Doucette. Letting that one rip was Lincoln McDonald. The two Novas connecting there. Here's Reed over to Rude. Good back check from McDonald. Will break up that pass. Remard. He finds Michaud up for McDonald. McDonald over to Gauthier. That pounce will bounce off his stick. Remard finds it. Toe drag still has it. Remard can't finish it off as he tried to dipsy his way through the slot. Marty McLeod takes the pass from Rude. He'll rim that up the wall. Picked up by Duggan as he tried to feed Remard but couldn't connect there. Gauthier absorbs a hit along the boards. That's going to come free. Remard trying to trip it past Brabant, but couldn't get past number 2 in orange. Duggan takes the pass. Duggan looking down low, but intercepted by Rude. That's going to bounce off the side of the net. Comes free for McLeod. He'll work it up for Dufour. Intercepted at center by Henneberry. He'll play that into the zone. Brabant picks it up behind the net. Nice escape move to get by the forecheck. Brabant up for Rude. Rude looking to dish it for Dufour. That will be sent back in deep by Ripley. Doucette. Use it for Brabant, who absorbs the hit from Nordine. Makes the play for McLeod. McLeod up for Dufour. Dufour works it into the zone. Bounces off the wall. Here comes Frizzle. Frizzle gets his getaway sticks going. Goes wide. Frizzle centering pass for Nordine. Hits a stick on the way through. Does not make its way to the net. Here's Mosier, takes the pass, makes a move. Mosier shot blockered away by Gunn. Rebound covered up as Mosier using those wheels once again. This time Gunn at the top of his crease, able to shut that one down. Nordine against Gallant. They'll kick out Nordine. In comes Frizzle. Scrum draw. Looks like Chambers will get possession for Orange. He'll work it in deep. Intercepted by Labuki. Kept in by Hayes as he came pinching into the zone. Tie up along the wall. Here's Gallant. Gallant gets poked off the puck by Nordine. Comes free for Hayes, who lets a shot go deflected wide. Green get possession off the body check. Here comes Magnus Nordine. Finds Frizzle. Frizzle back towards Nordine, but that's going to hit the stick of Hayes, who was sprawling out on the defensive side. Brabant puts the brakes on down low. He finds his partner Hayes. Hayes looking for Chambers. Intercepted. Here's Henneberry. One-timer shot up in the slot from Ripley, but he hit his stick, and that will go up and high and hits the netting and out of play. Enzo Chandler will take the face-off against Jesse Gallant. Puck is dropped. Boudreau whacks it free, played in deep. Rimmed up the wall, but kept in by a pinching Kennedy, Purcell. Shot will be blocked by Gallant. His stretch pass for Mosier will be ahead of him, and that will be another icing call. Six minutes to go in the second. 3-1's the score, just the one goal in this period. It was a second of the game for Gregor O'Hearn from Bedford. Pelham versus Chandler for the face-off to the glove side of Doucette inside the orange zone. One ahead. Here's Zwicker. Zwicker, nice move to get by Purcell. 2-on-1. Zwicker shot up high, will sail over the net. Rebound sent just wide by Dixon up top. Comes available in the corner. There's Purcell. Purcell up for Chevry on the wing. He finds Chandler. Enzo Chandler, nice move in the slot, trying to work it free. Chandler nearly went all the way, but Doucette with the pad. His Bedford counterpart makes the save. Here's Smith, another Bedford bandit. Will leave it for Pelham. Pass back for Smith, will bounce away from his stick. McLaughlin has it up top. Finds Zwicker. Zwicker trying to go through his legs back to himself, but he gets nudged off the biscuit with a body check. Boudreau will advance the puck into the zone. Played right under the crease of Doucette, who will cover things up with the glove. Romard will enter the face-off dot against Liam Dufour. Puck dropped. There's chip shot blocked. Picked up. Reed finds McKinnon. Charlie McKinnon will shoot one off the rush. That will go off the glass. Comes free, but that will bounce off a Reed stick. Reed plays it up top for Diebel. Diebel had that bounce through his twig. Foot race for the puck. McKim against Diebel. McKim wins the battle. Here he is. McKim's shot will be stopped by Doucette. Rebound, squirts loose. It's on the leg of the pad. It might have crossed the goal line, but referee was right there. He signals no goal. That puck was lodged in the skate and the pad of Doucette. Somehow stayed out. Lucky bounce from number 30 in black. That one stays out. 2-4 against Romard. Once more in the face-off dot. As Doucette will take a second to adjust his helmet. Face-off won by Orange in their own zone. Rimmed up the wall. McKinnon finds it. McKinnon centering for Dufour. Bounces off a skate. Comes back to him. McKinnon takes a spill. No call on the play. Here is McKim. Worked into the zone. Finds Dufour. As Romard works it wide. Gauthier finds it sent towards the net. Blocked. Rebound stopped by Doucette as Chip let that one rip. Here's Romard. Gets his stick lifted. Holds possession. Gets pinned to the boards. 2-on-2 down low. Romard works it free. Him and Dufour battling for it. Chip takes over. Up the wall. McKinnon makes the play up for Dufour. Dufour gets his stick taken out of his hands of a slash, and that will be a penalty on the play. So Orange went back to the man advantage as Gauthier touches up. Whistle blows. Dufour draws the call. McKim will head of the box, his Rangers teammate from last season. O'Hearn, Chambers, and Rude out there on the forward front for this power play alongside Marty McLeod and Cale Parsons. Here's Parsons. Has it up top. Over to McLeod. That will bounce through his skate and escape the zone. McLeod now on his own blue line. Finds Chambers. Chambers will work that in deep, but that will be picked off by Henneberry and cleared down the ice. Here's Doucette. Leaves it for Parsons. Cale Parsons with 3:20 to go in the period. Pass turned over. Here comes McDonald shorthanded. Lincoln McDonald streaking towards the net, but he gets his stick lifted by McLeod on the back check. McDonald will take it back to center and then rip it right down into the corner once more. McLeod will slow things down. Up for Chambers. Chambers enters the zone. Down low for O'Hearn, who's on hat-trick watch with 2 goals tonight. O'Hearn out of the corner. Up top for Brabant. Back towards O'Hearn, but that'll bounce free. Henneberry will pin that to the board. It's going to kill some penalty kill clock, but that'll be played back to the line for Brabant. Shot stopped by Gunn. Rebound cleared out of the zone. Here's McLeod. McLeod chips it to himself off the boards. McLeod works it into the zone, drops it up for Mosier. That will come free as Frizzle makes the play. Might be a shorthanded opportunity. Here comes Doucette out of the net. Makes the beautiful play to prevent a breakaway. Chance to the other side. Gallant trying to leave it for Zwicker, but unable to find him. Purcell will take over. Down for Frizzle. Frizzle has Nordine with them on the shorthanded chance. Brabant takes over for Orange. Here's Avery Brabant having a heck of a game here tonight on the defensive side. He'll shoot one off the toe drag release shot off the rush, and that will sail over the glove. And we're back to 5-on-5. And that will be played into the Orange bench for a whistle. Gallant will take the face-off against Enzo Chandler. It's the glove side of Gunn. Another pump fake on the face-off. This time they drop it. Purcell takes possession. Over to Kennedy. Back for Purcell. Up for Chevry. Chevry trying to get by Brabant, his raged teammate, as he's able to maintain possession. Brabant gets taken off the puck by Mosier. Mosier chips it off the wall. Kennedy will find it and play it into the zone, but offside. Pelham will step into the face-off dot against Chandler. Just outside the green zone on the near side. One back by Orange. Here's Hayes. Hayes will work that in deep. Battle for the loose puck. 2-on-2 behind the net. McKinnon finds it. Pass in front. One-timer. Pelham scores. Pelham was all alone in the slot. McKinnon fed him. Pelham finished it. And it's 4-1. Nice feed from McKinnon. Good hustle on the forecheck to get to that loose puck as Pelham takes a spill at center after scoring the 4th goal of the game for Orange. A late goal with just 62 seconds remaining in the frame. As we're now in the final minute of the second. Here's McKinnon. McKinnon pass across looking for Pelham again, but that will be out of his reach this time. Play to the line. Shot will be stopped by Gunn with the chest. Here is Smith. Smith works it to the wall as Misha will take over. Chip finds it, gets hit off the puck, turned over. Smith works it for Pelham in the corner. Pelham makes the escape move, picked up by Chip in the corner. Chip, saucer pass, looking for Ramard. That will bounce over his stick. Picked up by McLaughlin in his own zone, turned over. Here's Ramard, centering pass for Chip. Rebounds there. Doucette makes a couple of saves and eventually able to cover up. Off the turnover, Ramard fed it in front for the one-timer. Chip got a shot off. Boudreau was looking for the rebound, but Doucette shut the door. Ramard against Pelham for the draw. 12 seconds to go in the period. One ahead. Ramard couldn't work that on goal, as the clock was a bit hesitant to start there in the rink. Here's a pass to the slot. Shot blocked in front. Comes free in the corner, and that's going to do it for the second. So 4-1 is the score. Jerome Doucette perfect in net in that second period. Gets the 20-minute shutout. So for the final time, we'll take an intermission break. You're watching the High Button Sports coverage of the 2026 High Performance Camp here in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. We'll be back for the third and final period after the break. back inside the Charles V. Keating Center, St. Francis Xavier campus in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. You're watching the High Button Sports coverage of the 2026 High Performance Summer Camp. 46 players, all born in 2012. All Nova Scotians trying to crack the 20-man roster for Team NS at the Atlantic Challenge Cup later on in October over Thanksgiving weekend in Moncton. This is the fourth game. This will be the final period of this four-game mini-series between Team Green and Team Orange. Rogerson will finish things off for Team Orange in net number 76, and then on the other side, it'll be Anakin Sillyboy, number 21, for Team Green. The final two goalies get one last look in the evaluators in this final period of play. There's an early chance for Reed. He'll redirect that one wide of the cage. Picked up by McDonald. Has Nordine with them. Finds him. Here comes Nordine. Back from McDonald. McDonald, nice pass in front. Here's a shot off the stick of Henneberry. Save made by Rogerson. An early opportunity for Green. Here comes Orange the other way. Dufour has it with McKinnon. Dufour puts the brakes on, but he loses the footing. Played up top for Diebel. He'll walk down to the slot. McKinnon works that to the wall. Here's Charlie McKinnon. Up top for Soublier. He'll work that back down low. Picked up by Liam Labuki from Bedford. He'll find McKim. McKim up for McDonald. That will just bounce off his stick. Soublier there to get that out of harm's way. Soublier finds it again. He'll play it in deep. Picked up by Davis Henneberry from the Gulls program over in the Tantallon and surrounding areas. There's a collision at center. Purcell just avoids the hit from Chambers. That will be played into the orange bench by McDonald, and that will stop play. So 4-1 is the score in this game. Gregor O'Hearn has two of the orange goals. Face-off, one back by Orange. Worked back into the zone by Marty McLeod. McLeod scored just a few seconds into the game to give Orange the lead, and they have not looked back since. Purcell takes the D-to-D pass up for Duggan. Leaves it for Enzo Chandler. Chandler finds Ripley. Ripley will burst wide and shoot one. Rebound was there for Chandler, but bounces over his stick. So still 4-1 for Team Orange. Chambers has it. Chambers up towards Mosier out of his reach, but no icing. Anakin Sillyboy out to play it. Leaves it for Paxton Kennedy. Kennedy over to John Purcell from the Novas. Purcell will stretch a pass down the ice. That's going to hop out of play, and watch out, that was pretty close to me. Haven't gotten hit with a puck yet this week. I'm knocking on wood off camera right now. That one was probably the closest call I've had. It's been a great week. 2 weeks of hockey here in Antigonish. We're happy to give you every single tryout moment and game. It's been a pleasure to do so for the past few years, as Mosier will fail on the shot. Another chance will sail wide. McLeod will work it back into the zone. Mosier finds a loose puck, but he gets his pocket picked by Michaud. Michaud up for Noel Remard. Remard will backhand one across. An area pass for Chevry. He picks it up. Chevry back for Remard. Back in front looking for Chevry again, but that'll bounce over his backhand. Here's Gauthier. He finds Remard. Remard in front. That will bounce off the pad of Rogerson, sent towards the net by Frizzle. Chevry looking for it. That will be picked up by Remard. Noel Remard down the wall. Will fire one off the side of the net. Made the twine tickle, but did not find the back of the cage. That one stayed out. Here's Frizzle. Up top for Michaud. Michaud that bounced through his stick. Here comes Mosier, but Michaud makes the play over to Gauthier just in time. That'll be sent down the ice, misses the stick, and that will be an icing call. About 3 minutes into the final period of play here in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. Pelham against Chip for the draw. One to the wall, kept in by Brabant. Brabant looked excellent in this game, as Smith will work it for Pelham. Pelham up top for Brabant. He'll keep it in the zone again for a moment. Labuki will pick it up. Here's Labuki up for Boudreau as Hayes will take over. Hayes, backhand pass for Brabant as he makes the move past McKim. Puck comes free. Here's Boudreau. Pelham there to dig it free again for Orange. Hayes takes the puck, fires it up the ice. Here's Quinn Smith. Smith can't get by his Bedford buddy Labuki as he'll be forced to the wall. McKim will try and play the hop, but it hits that funny patch of ice by the Zamboni door. That will be sent the other way. Zwicker finds Hayes up top. Shot will go off the pad of Silly Boy. Rebound down low. Picked up by Pelham. Advances it up the wall. Finds Zwicker. Back down low looking for Pelham off the cycle, but that'll be out of his reach. Puck frees up. Henneberry looking for it. Zwicker will get there first. Here's Hayes pinching in. Keeps it inside the zone. Plays it to the opposite corner. Labuki finds it. He'll fire it all the way down the ice, and that will be icing against Team Green. Face off to the glove side of Silly Boy. Silly Boy from Cape Breton County. Puck drop, one back for Brabant. His shot will be deflected up and high and over the net. Stays in bounds. There's O'Hearn. O'Hearn has an opportunity for a hat trick if he gets one more goal. He's got 2 so far in this game. That'll be kept in for Rude. Here's Reed in front looking for O'Hearn, but he couldn't connect. Good defensive stick on the other side of the puck. Here comes Nordine. Nordine gets taken into the wall by Hayes. Sent in deep. Rogerson can get there in time, so that will come free on the wall. Picked up by Reed. Reed from the Warewell Bombers gets taken down with a hit from Duggan. Duggan takes the pass. Makes the play over to Nordine. Poked free. Here is a chance for Kennedy down low for Duggan. Centering pass. Kept out by Rogerson as he dove across to keep the puck out of the net. Looks like the net came off, so that frees his play. Great diving effort from the goals goalie, Rogerson, number 76 for Team Orange. Chandler against Dufour for the draw. Puck hits the ice. Played on goal, whacked ahead by the goaltender, Rogerson. Here's McKinnon now, spins a pass for Dufour, but Michaud with the stick prevents the pass through the slot. Dufour finds it, plays it at the line, holds the zone, but poked free. There's Chevry up for Boudreau. Boudreau, saucer pass across, just out of the reach of Cameron Ripley. Free puck in the bottom of the circle. Dufour finds it, but sent back into the zone by Ripley. He finds Chevry. Chevry down low. Cycles it for Chandler, back for Chevry, trying to drag it through the defender, but Dylan Dixon works that to the wall. McKinnon finds it, dangles his way into the zone. Comes free for Chambers, but he gets his stick lifted, gets it right back, gets pinned to the boards. Battle ensues. Worked out of the zone by Chandler. He finds Chevry, back for Chandler. Enzo Chandler will gingerly make his way into the offensive side, pokes free, but McKim off the bench collects the puck, takes a hit as McKim gets fed into the Orange bench, and he's fed with a few chirps as well. Dylan Dixon will take over. Pass for Gallant. Here comes Jesse Gallant, 1-on-4. Works it in deep. Labuki all over him. Taken away by Henneberry. Back for Labuki. McKim picks it up. McKim turns it over. Here's Mosier. Mosier powers his way to the net. Comes free in the slot, but McKim will prevent that with a poke check. Here comes Remard. Dishes it for a chance in front for Remard as he took the pass from Frizzle, and that will be kept out. Labuki finds it. Oh, ferociously dumped that into the zone. Picked up. Here is Mosier. Mosier trying to get past the forecheck of McKim. Plays it up for Gallant. Gallant up the wall, finds Zwicker. Zwicker absorbs the hit from Henneberry. Picked up by Labuki. Labuki up for Romard. Here comes Noel Romard down the near side wing. Pass across that will bounce over the stick of Diebel and into the corner. Picked up by Zwicker. He'll absorb a hit from McKim, but gets the better of that body exchange. 3-on-2 developing. Here is Zwicker, but he dangles his way offside, so he forced a retreat. Frizzle with the intercepted pass by Zwicker. He makes his way into the zone, leaves it in the slot, but intercepted by Frizzle. Zwicker gets it back. Cycle play picked off by Frizzle again. Up for Duggan. Up for Ramar, but picked off by Zwicker again. He'll work it in the zone. Nice move. Zwicker still has it, but poked off the puck by John Purcell. Here comes Ramard, one-on-one. Takes it through the middle, but poked free by Diebel. That was Sublier, excuse me. Here's Ramard again out of the corner. Goes skate to stick in the circle, still has it. Ramard up top. Here's Paxton Kennedy. He'll walk in and shoot on low. Rebounds there, but sent just wide of the net. Chance for Mosier to clear for Orange. He'll slowly make his way out of the zone, and he'll send that one up and high and into the opposite corner. Here's Kennedy. Over to Purcell. John Purcell will stretch a pass up and chipped into the zone by Boudreau. Picked up. Here's Duggan. Duggan works it behind the net, trying to get past Marty McLeod. Play to the line. Here is Kennedy. He'll take a hit from Quinn Smith. That'll free up the puck. Here comes Rude. Takes the pass from Marty McLeod. Shot off the rush. Will be stopped by Silly Boy. Rebound sent on goal. Another chance in front for O'Hearn, looking for the hat trick, but he cannot beat Silly Boy. Right in front of the cage. Point blank shot denied by Silly Boy. Chevry takes the stretch pass. Up for Boudreau. Boudreau gets hit off the puck. Orange will advance it down the ice. Chip takes over. Over to Michaud. Michaud will get the red and then send it in deep. Takes a hit from Smith in the process. Picked up by McLeod. Who'll put the brakes on behind the net. McLeod up for Smith on the wall. Smith looking for McKinnon, but he was looking the opposite direction. Michaud intercepts it. Michaud nearly avoids a hit at center ice. Picked up by Pelham. Pelham goes wide past Gauthier. Pelham will get the shot off. Save made by Silly Boy with the pad. Dubois finds the rebound. Liam Dufour gets taken down in the corner. No call on the play. Picked up. Here's McKinnon. McKinnon has his neck guard hanging off his neck. Hayes takes the pass over to Brabant. Brabant will drag and shoot one low. That will just sail wide low. Past the blocker's side. Here's Chip. Andy Chip avoids the hit. Still has the puck. He'll make a move and shoot one on. Rebound. Glove save by Rogerson off the secondary opportunity generated off the pad. Boudreau was denied with the glove. Great save for number 76 for Team Orange. Keeps this game 4-1. Dufour against McDonald for the faceoff. One back by Orange. Hayes has it on the backhand. Up for Pelham. Pelham plays it back inside the zone. Brabant will take over. Rimmed up the wall for Austin Reed. Picked off by Ripley. Sent back into the zone. Hayes finds it. Hayes loses the handle. Puck squirts free in front of the net. Ends up on the stick of Reed. Reed can't clear. Kept in by Henneberry. Hayes will go off the glass looking for Brabant. That will bounce past him. Kept in the zone by McDonald. McDonald towards the slot. Bounces onto the stick of Nordine. Nordine's shot low will be stopped by Rogerson. Rebound behind the net for Ripley. Ripley up for McDonald. Intercepted. Here's Pelham. Simon Pelham with Dufour. Finds him. Dufour couldn't get the angle on net as he was well defended on the back check. Played to the line, but off the bench was Dixon. Couldn't accept it cleanly, so he'll be forced to retreat at center. Here's Dixon. Enters the zone. He'll shoot out the rush. It's going to be stopped by Silly Boy. Rebounds there. Kept out. Rebound again. They score. That one jammed home by Orange. Looks like it'll be Dylan Dixon with the goal. 5-1 to score now. On the third or fourth opportunity from the generated rebound, it was finally whacked home. Ramard against Gallant at center. Here is Dixon, who just scored the 5th goal for Orange. She'll make the play up for Gallant. as the penalty box door is open, so they got to close that at center. Here's Remard looking for McKim. That will be out of his reach. Poked free by Dixon. Dixon takes a hit from Remard but makes the play over to Mosier. Here's Jax Mosier. Goes wide. Played towards the goal. Picked off by Paxton Kennedy. He'll advance the puck up the ice. He finds Chandler over to Remard. No Remard looking for an option. Plays it low towards the goal but off a body. Chandler back for Remard. Gets his pocket picked by Dixon. McKim finds it to the line. Here's Kennedy over to Purcell. Shot blocked by Mosier. Chance the other way. Here comes Mosier. Might be a breakaway. Mosier shoots one, stop by Silly Boy. As once again Mosier powers his way to the net. This time Silly Boy makes the save. Eight minutes to go now in the third. We're winding down here. Our time is almost over here in Antigonish. What a pleasure it's been to be here. This camp started last Wednesday with the U16 boys and U18 girls groups. Then we went over to the U14 and U16 girl groups starting on Sunday. And now we're here for Thursday to Sunday with the U14 and U15 boys. As here's a chance in front of the cage that's going to be kept out by Rogerson. U14's wrapped up their fourth game right before this one this morning at 9 a.m. Those were the top 2013 born players. These are the 2012 born players. Showcased in this game, the U15 boys squad. A lot of talent coming out of Nova Scotia for all the age groups. As here's Nordine. He'll work that into the corner. Nordine gets taken down with a hit from Soublier. Here's Michaud. His shot will go wide. Bounces free for Frizzle. That's going to be kept out by Rogerson. Duggan looking for the loose puck. It's tangled up down low. Diebel finds the biscuit. Played to the line. Kept in by Gauthier. So he'll take a hit from Quinn Smith. Here's Frizzle. Frizzle spins off a check, centering pass, intercepted by Soublier. He'll find Zwicker. Zwicker up the wall for Smith. Here's Quinn Smith. Gets nudged off the puck, but able to make the play for Diebel. Michaud takes over for Green. Over to Gauthier. Gauthier finds Frizzle in the middle of the ice. Frizzle enters the offensive side, holds onto it and shoots one on. That's going to be redirected on net by Chevry. Save made by Rogerson. Here's Chevry in the corner. Centering pass for Chip. One-timer goes off the side of the net. Here is Zwicker. Jack Zwicker will let a shot go off the shin pad of Davis Henneberry from the goals. Here's Boudreau. Sends it across for Chip. Chip will take the hit from Parsons. Battle for the puck along the wall. Poked free. Chevry will take over. He finds Labuki. Labuki is passed nearly intercepted by Pelham. Henneberry wins the battle on the boards. But Dufour picks his pocket. Here comes Liam Dufour. Pass in front looking for the hat trick was O'Hearn, but he couldn't finish that one off on the backhand. Henneberry works free on the boards. Dufour and Chevry battling for possession. As there's a penalty on the play. Dufour taken down. He'll draw another call. Cross-checking is a signal. It'll go against number 75, Davis Henneberry. .5:17 to go. Orange up 5-1. They're now up a man on the power play. Pelham will take the face-off against Ripley. One back to the line. Here's McLeod. Over to Parsons. Parsons will walk it and shoot one. Tipped on goal and they score. And that's going to be 3 goals for Gregor O'Hearn. He gets the hat trick. Redirects it over the glove. A great game for number 15 in orange, O'Hearn. His third of the contest. Second power play goal. Make it a 5-goal lead for Team Orange. They make quick work of that power play. O'Hearn in the high slot. Green gets possession off the draw. 5 minutes to go in this mini camp. Last chance for some of these players to make an impression. Reed intercepts the pass, finds McKinnon. McKinnon takes a spill but able to hold possession. Finds Brabant. Brabant looking to work it on goal. It's going to be stopped by Silly Boy with the pad. There's Hayes to the corner. Intercepted. There's Purcell now. John Purcell will enter the offensive zone. Takes a hit after making the pass. Brabant will take over. Up for McKinnon. Charlie McKinnon works it to the slot. Intercepted. Purcell will take over again. Here comes John Purcell from the Novas. As his teammates are changing, he'll play to the opposite wall and head to the bench himself. Chandler finds it. Holds something deep. Picked up by Brabant. Up for Gallant. Gallant avoids the hit from Duggan, but McKim there to take the puck away from him. Hayes absorbs the hit, makes the pass. Intercepted by Noel Ramard. Ramard goes between his own legs, works it free in the corner. Nice move by Ramard, but he gets taken off the puck with a body check. Chipped off the glass by Reed. Here's Michaud. Michaud over to Ramard. That's going to be offside, and that will stop play. We mentioned Ramard having a great camp. He's having a bit of a frustrating game today. Still very noticeable, but not as many points produced as previous matchups this week. But look for number 92 to have a big second year for the Novas next season as they try to go back-to-back and win another provincial title. Here is Michaud. Pass picked off at center by McLaughlin. Comes loose. Worked ahead by Duggan, looking for his Nova teammate Ramard, but intercepted. Michaud finds it. Pass picked off by Chambers. Chambers gets pinned to the boards. Ramard finds a loose puck. No Ramard will get worked off the biscuit by Chambers. That's going to come loose. Here's Duggan. Finds McKim. 3 minutes to go now in this game. McKim for Ramard on the cycle play. That will bounce free for Dylan Dixon for Team Orange. Dixon skates it up the ice. Finds Smith back towards Dixon in the corner. Centering passing from Mosier will be picked off by Duggan. Duggan finds Frizzle. Frizzle right down the middle. Goes wide. Gets hit off the puck by McLaughlin. Frizzle once again colliding with McLaughlin on that exchange in the corner. Orange get possession back. Here's Quinn Smith. Can't get by the stick of Labuki. Chevry plays it over to Henneberry. Here's Davis Henneberry in the slot. Shot will be stopped by Rogerson, his goal teammate, and he'll freeze play. (2-4) against Frizzle for the draw. Green get possession. Henneberry works it down low for Chevry. Back for Frizzle. Back for Chevry. In the corner, Chevry. Back for Frizzle down low. Jacob Frizzle will take the puck from behind the net, but fan on the shot. Nordine holds it in. Shot towards the net, directed wide by Chevry. Chance for Orange to clear. That'll make its way to center. Henneberry will play it back into the zone. Pass up ahead for Pelham. He leaves it for Zwicker, but intercepted by Nordine. Lots of goals out there on the ice right now. Here's one of them, Pelham. Over to Diebel. Diebel up ahead for Pelham again, but that'll be poked loose and no icing's a call. Dufour, first player back in the corner. Kennedy will pick his pocket. Frizzle takes over. Frizzle finds Chevry in the middle of the ice. Chevry, 1-on-2. Waits for an option to open up. Finds Nordine. Nordine's shot will be gloved down by Rogerson. Nice play from Chevry to set up Nordine off the zone entry. 68 seconds remaining. Chip will take the draw against McKinnon to the blocker side of Rogerson. Scrum draw. Play to the wall. Green get possession. Ripley will fire it in deep. Picked up on the opposite side by Purcell. Boudreau couldn't handle the pass. McKinnon will take over. McKinnon takes a hit from Ripley. That will be sent back to the orange side of the ice. Here's McLeod. Pass picked off by Ripley. He'll work it in deep. 40 seconds to go. McLeod loses the handle. Chip will take over. Chip takes a hit from McKinnon. Orange get possession. Here's Rude. Up for O'Hearn. It was a hat trick in this game. That will come from the blue line. 23 seconds to go. Orange forced to peel off due to the offside. Michaud will advance the puck to center. Has it on his stick. Gets to the red line and will send it in deep. And that's just about going to do it here in Antigonish. One last opportunity at the net. Played into the zone. Bit of a tie-up at center, and that's going to do it. So 2 weeks of Hockey Nova Scotia high-performance coverage concludes with this one. Final score will be 6-1 for Team Orange. I'd like to thank you for tuning in for the past 14 days. It's been a pleasure giving you the coverage of the next generation of Nova Scotian superstars on the ice. My name is Mason Denike with High Button Sports, joined alongside Brendan Maloney. Jeff Warburton was here as well, and of course we have the whole team back at home preparing for the upcoming hockey season. Next up for us will be the preseason games for the U18 Major Hockey League in Nova Scotia, and then all of a sudden it will be back to the regular season. We'll be back with full coverage of the U15 Major Hockey League, U16 AAA Hockey League, the U18 Major Boys and Girls Hockey Leagues, and a few other leagues as well yet to be announced. But all we know for sure is we'll definitely be around the rinks this season. So thank you again for tuning in. One last time from Antigonish, High Button Sports production of the U15 Boys under Hockey Nova Scotia Summer Camp. We'll see you in just a few weeks' time for the preseason.